If you think you're missing something by listening to us rather than some other radio station, well, you probably are. But we'll make up for it. Just send us an email, and we'll send you back 17 minutes of commercials.
Everything you want to hear from the voice of Cerritos College, WPMD on the Nets, where people make a difference.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Falcon Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob GF, and at this time, I'd like my guests to please introduce themselves.
Hello.
Him.
My name is Angelissa Flores.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aldemar Sanchez, president of Queer Straight Alliance Club.
Excellent. Now, tell me about QSA.
QSA, so the QSA Club is pretty much a club here on campus that is pretty much for advocacy for the LGBT community and equality throughout campus and pretty much in our community.
Okay. And how long has QSA been around, or what does it normally do?
Ooh, I don't know how long we've been around. I know we have a picture of when the club was first made, and that was years ago. But pretty much what the club does, we're pretty much all about advocating for the LGBT community. So one of our main things is like marriage equality. This year we're focusing a lot on outreach to local high schools and their GSAs or their ASBs, and pretty much just putting the word out there about how the LGBT community's rights are very important and how equality is very important, whether in the LGBT community or outside the LGBT community.
And how long have you been a member of the group?
I started last spring. I went to a couple of the meetings, and then this year is when I've been a major member of the club. Last semester's fall 2014, I was the vice president of QSA, and this year I am the president. This semester, spring 2015, I am the new president of QSA.
Now, tell me, how did you find out about the club?
I pretty much found out about the club through events we would have on campus, Club Info Day. Most of the time that those QSA would send out to me was during their marriage booth. So that's when I started taking a huge interest in QSA, especially after AJ, Amna Jara, coordinator of student activities. She would always talk about what they would do, and especially since Safe Zone started, it made me more interested in being in QSA and pretty much being an advocate for the LGBT community.
What is Safe Zone?
Safe Zone is a committee made on campus by faculty and staff, and it pretty much is to help train and lead faculty and staff on campus to be more aware of the LGBT community and just to pretty much not throw anyone under the bus. But yeah, it's a really great committee, and it's just to pretty much help faculty and staff be more aware of the students on campus.
And how do people join that committee?
That committee, pretty much the student representatives are pretty much recruited by AJ, especially because they want students who are involved and that know the student body as a whole. And the faculty and staff that are on that committee are usually people who've gone through the training and people who have availability to work with AJ and Lance Kaiser to pretty much be able to make a change on campus.
And when do they normally meet?
Our meetings usually go back and forth. It's usually when we're all available. Sometimes we meet on Mondays, sometimes we'll meet on Tuesdays, but we get the agenda and what we're gonna do way ahead of time, so we pretty much go with the flow. But we always have our trainings way ahead of time. The student trainings, we've had them set up since December for this year, so everything's really organized. It's just our meetings depends on the availability, especially since a lot of them are faculty and staff on campus. Their availability goes back and forth, so it's just pretty much when we're available.
Now, I know that lots of times people, they get attached to their club. They put a lot of time and effort into helping the club succeed, and over time, they as well go above through the ranks like you have in your club. Tell me, the importance of your club, how it's impacted you.
This club has like a huge impact on my life, especially since I was raised in a community where the LGBT community wasn't very accepted. I grew up in a Hispanic family, so the LGBT community wasn't seen as very moral or right. And then, so my little brother and my aunt are both in the LGBT community, and in high school, I would be a huge advocate for it. I would go and pretty much go to the GSA meetings there and help out any way I can. So when I came here, I wanted to do that, but I never knew we had one until later on. But this has a huge impact on my life because I've always been an advocate for it, and I've always wanted to make a change, especially to high school students, where I know a couple of my friends in high school did have a hard time going through this because it was very hard for them to come out, especially a lot of them were Hispanic, so it was very hard for their family members to accept it. And so, I mean, this always impacts me because I want to make a change in the community, especially with those students who do come out and are having a hard time, whether it's with their family or the community as a whole not accepting them. And I just want to be that student working with my amazing club members to make a change and show these high school students or show students here on campus that Cerritos College is a great, amazing school. They've done so much to have an open, diverse campus, and it's amazing. We just want to show how this school will be great for them to come to.
And you have been pretty active here on campus. What was it, a year ago you were VP, right?
Yeah.
What have you done after your term is over? I know that you're in something that's, is it the SSCCC or something
Oh, yeah.
thing to it? Tell us about that.
So after my vice presidential duties were over, I kind of wanted to still be involved, but be able to do more one-on-one with students and be more outside of school. As vice president, it's mostly just focused on the Cerritos College students. I wanted to focus more on community. So I was I was a Region 8 representative for the Spectrum Caucus for the SSCCC. And I mean, it was a very great experience, a very time consuming, which I had to step down from that position. But as the things we would speak about in that caucus were amazing. Just how certain community colleges, I won't throw them out there, but certain community colleges would have incidents where the LGBT students would feel that they weren't being represented well, or they were being treated very poorly. So as a caucus, we would come together and find a resolution on how to go to that community college and fight for those students, fight for the rights of those students. And it was really great. One incident was where a student who was a transgender student was asked to leave the locker room until all other students have finished being in the being able to change or do what they needed to do. And they were asked, she was asked to stay outside while the rest of the girls were changing, and then being able to go back into the locker room and pretty much do what she needed to do. And so it was a huge incident that we felt wasn't just. So we did address it. A couple of the caucus members went to that school and pretty much fought for that one particular student, because, I mean, just because it was that one student doesn't mean it wasn't important, because in other schools it could happen as well. So that experience was really, really great.
I know that you mentioned, there's an activity coming up with your club. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so this Wednesday and Thursday, February 11th and 12th, we're having a marriage booth here on campus. There's a yearly activity that we do have. It's pretty much to promote marriage equality on campus and in the community. Any student can come, student, faculty, staff, whoever wants to come, people off the community can come too, to come and pretty much get married. And it's not like an actual marriage, so you don't have to worry about that. but it's just for fun. It's pretty much just to promote marriage equality. It could be a man and a woman, a man and a man, a woman and a woman. I know last year we had a student who married themselves, so it could be whatever they want. They can marry whoever they want. They can marry themselves. So it's pretty much just to promote marriage equality on campus. It is a fundraiser, so it's $5 to get married, but that gives you. We do the whole marriage reception. We do marriage certificates. We give rings out. And I think actually Anime Club's going to be out there with us too. A member of theirs, Ron Cardova, is going to be out there, and I believe he's going to be drawing sketches for like marriage sketches or any sketches they want. So you guys can go out and support QSA in that event, or you guys could go support Anime Club as well while they do that.
Pretty good. Now that's $5 for both people, or $5 per each of the two people have to give the $5? So.
$5 per marriage. So it's man, woman, man, man, woman, woman. It's just $5 per $5 each couple. There you go.
Couple. Okay. So this is every semester, or just once? Like either it's just the fall, or it's just the spring, or.
We usually have it once a year. So usually near Valentine's Day. It's kind of a bummer that Valentine's is over the weekend, but we're trying to make it as close as possible to it. So we made it the 11th and 12th of February.
11th and 12th, okay. And this is from what time to what time again?
From 11 to 2 in Falcon Square.
11 to 2. Okay, and what do people have to expect to, like, they don't have to bring anything other than just the money?
Whichever headphones.
Yeah, pretty much all they have to do is just bring $5. We'll do the rest pretty much after we have the, like, let's say you pay your $5 and we bring you near our arch, and then we're gonna have a person that does the vows pretty much, not a priest or anything, because we want to give equal representation. So yeah, it's just $5. We show you what you should say, and then from there we give you a marriage certificate, you sign, and that's it. We give you guys the rings, and there you go.
That's cool. Tell me, I ask my guests all this time, tell me what's your goal for this semester, and what is your goal after Cerritos College?
My goal pretty much for this semester is to bring awareness of students pretty much. For QSA, my goal is to pretty much bring awareness to high school students on what Cerritos College has to offer and how an open, diverse college it is. We're planning to have a high school conference here at Cerritos for high school students to come out, and we're going to do workshops and everything on LGBT related LGBT related stuff. With Phi Beta Lambda, I'm wanting to have the students be more involved within the national organization. Or the Falcon, just getting everybody more involved, mostly like in like the Quidditch team, and pretty much just in the club, just to be out there and know what Order of the Falcon is. And pretty much after I graduate, it's just being able to do what I'm doing now at my 4-year university, still being very involved on campus, and still being a mentor to a lot of the Cerritos College students, whether I'm here in Fullerton or San Diego State or over in Hawaii, still being a mentor to all the students here and just being able to help them with whatever questions they may have or anything they may need from me.
Well, I know that you mentioned you have something to do in a bit, but I was wondering, for a closing remark, what would you like your legacy to be? Like, what do you want students to remember? What would you like to leave some words for the Falcons as they're going through this next semester and continuing on their education?
Pretty much what I like to tell the students is get involved. I mean, my first year here, I wasn't involved. I barely did anything. I would come to school, do my classes, hang out maybe for a little bit, go home, and that's it. So one thing I would tell students is to get involved. There's so many opportunities you could get from being involved, whether it's just clubs or government. It's great. I mean, I've met so many professors, faculty, staff on campus so many students that I have great networking opportunities now. Being in clubs like PBL and QSA, I've gotten so many networking opportunities in Phi Beta Lambda. I know students from San Diego State, Fullerton, some students that go to Ohio State, and that I competed with or competed against at a national level. So it's pretty much get involved. It will change your life. It will help you stay more involved on campus, both on an extracurricular basis, but also academically, especially because a lot of these like clubs and government require certain GPA. And if you love these clubs, you love being involved, it pushes you to get your GPA up and do better in classes. A lot of your advisors will be your professors, so they'll always be pushing you to stay involved and also to keep your grades up. And the students you surround yourself with in clubs and organizations, they're committed as well. They want to make sure you succeed. You want to make sure they succeed. And yeah, just get involved and get to know people. It's a great networking opportunity. After you graduate, you're going to know these individuals already, so make it that much easier for you to pretty much land a job, or be able, once you have your job, be able to network with them to pretty much go far and beyond in your career already.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. When we return from these public service announcements, we'll get to our next guest.
The Oldies Jukebox is back on WPMD.
Every night at 9 Pacific.
Bringing you music you haven't heard for years.
In a way, you've never heard it.
6 decades of rock and roll packed into 1 hour.
The smallest hits from the biggest names.
The all-time greats and the one-time wonders.
From C&W to R&B.
From MOR to AOR.
To good old rock and roll.
If you heard it then, you'll hear it now.
On the Oldies Jukebox.
Every night at 9 Pacific.
On WPMD on the net.
Where people make a difference.
Parents sure have their hands full. They could use the extra hand. Now every state offers free, low-cost health insurance for your sports hero and budding artist. Kids up to the age 19 get checkups, doctors and dental visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify for your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information. 1-877-KIDS-NOW, 543-7669. Visit healthcare.gov to learn more about affordable health coverage for your family. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and WPMD, where people make a difference.
Welcome back to The Cat Show. Up next we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, couch purring, bed leaping, and of course companionship.
Wonderful. And what breed would you say Nico is?
I'd have to go with a tabbyish Persian kind of mix.
Tremendous cat.
I'd also like to point out her coat's wonderful mix of colors. Is it black, gray, gray-black, brown?
Somewhere in between.
Indeed.
You know, it's always special when we get to see a cat like this.
Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And how she's so incredibly cute in her indifference to commands.
A strong-willed feline.
Ah, and see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
I know. Fantastic cat.
Fantastic indeed. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Well, welcome back to the Falcon Spotlight, located here at Cerritos College, WPMD Radio. And at this time, I'd like my next guest to please introduce himself.
That here? Hello?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Sergio German. I'm the president for the new club here on campus, which is the Commercial Music Club.
And tell me more about your club.
Well, the club is designated for a lot of guys and girls that don't really know much about the business side of music, which is networking. It's learning what programs we have here on campus, what certificates we offer, be involved in more events that pretty much a lot of people don't know that we have. I think a lot of people didn't even know we had a recording studio here on campus, so it's pretty much a good eye opener for everybody for the music department.
And do all the members usually take music classes, or?
Not really. You don't have to be any like musical savvy. Like, you just need to have an interest. We're open for anybody who loves music as much as we do, and on any aspect, if you want to perform it, record it, promote it, live DJs, it's really up to you.
Do you DJ?
I don't DJ, no.
What do you like? What's your specialty?
Well, I'm an audio engineer. That's what I do. I do that for a living now. I'm the assistant audio engineer here on campus for the recording studio. I also do, I take lessons for jazz guitar here. So I'm in the applied program here. And, I have a band, and we play a lot.
So you play guitar?
I do play, I play a lot of instruments, but guitar is my main instrument.
Cool. I brought my little sister here. She wanted to check out the show, and I know that she's into, bands and so forth. I'm sure she'll have a question or something for you about, how did you, get into guitar?
Definitely. Well, ask away.
Don't be shy. You're the one that wanted to come on here.
What made you start your interest in wanting to play?
Play guitar? Well, I actually started really late playing. I was around 15, 16, and me and my best friend, which we still play together now, we decided to pick up instruments. We didn't know how to play or anything like that, and I just kept at it. Apparently I was good enough to get into the program here, and I think I'm one of the only 2 electric guitar players for jazz here at this campus. So, I'm just keep at it, trying to get better, but it's hard. It's hard learning the right way. That's what I got from having private lessons. It's a reality check.
So you were self-taught for a while? Yeah,
self-taught, books, online, other people, videos, anything I can get my hands on. And I played for a long time. I had a band when I was in high school, which we got pretty good and got a really strong following, but it wasn't the music that I really liked to play. Well, I grew out of it. I think we played too many shows. So I moved over to the band I have now, which is like my main thing that I focus everything around now.
Now, the audio aspect that you work with, what exactly do you do for audio?
Well, I can do live sound. I can write music. Right now I'm in Theory 4, so I know how to write classical music, jazz, pop songs, all that stuff. So I guess that's the more the producing aspect. I can engineer live bands. I can create fake instruments with just a keyboard and make it sound like real instruments and stuff like that.
When did you get into that stuff?
Well, I guess being in the band, we had to get some kind of recordings out, and we really didn't have money to go to a studio, so the cheapest things to do is just buy your own equipment, even though it's cheap equipment at first. That's how you get some kind of experience, and the more I started doing it, the better I figured I was at it, and apparently it caught the interest of the dean of the department that I knew my stuff, so that's where I'm at now. And
so since you've had been in a band and stuff, who did the singing?
We had another guy singing for the other band. For the band that I have now, I did the singing for a little while since I wrote all the music until we got a singer recently. But just whoever can do it.
Cool. What kind of music are you into?
At the moment, I listen to a lot of stuff because I like keeping in touch with what's current. Since I am in the audio field, like, to me, any kind of music is good music. It's just the way you got to listen to it with an open mind. So I tend to, right now, really focus on a lot of jazz stuff, a lot of pop stuff. So I play in an indie dance band, so it's like very, like, just electronic dance music. There's just like old school disco beats on drums and, very frantic guitars and synthesizers. But I'm open to everything, and I love music in general. So.
What about like rap and hip hop?
Yeah, I listen to rap and hip hop. I guess the hip hop artist that I really like at the moment, which is really unique, is Tyler the Creator. Like I'm really into all the producing that they do, and just like how they create music out of not something that's very like common. They use weird sounds, weird time signatures. Just I like the style.
Now, do you find yourself usually trying to sing along or anything like that?
No, I know what I'm good at. So.
Oh, we got a cool, we got a pretty talented guy on here on the roster here in the station. I don't know if you met Ignite.
I believe so. I think he signed up for the club. He was very excited. He wanted to do some hip hop stuff with us. So.
Oh yeah,
I'm all for it.
He totally knows his stuff. He knows how to freestyle, and make his own beats.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah. He was telling me about it, but he just needs more experience making his beats or his drum sequencing sound more professional, and that's where the club comes in. Like a lot of the guys that we do have there that are higher up, they're very very efficient at what they do, and I wanted everybody to know like each other on campus, whoever's really interested in becoming musicians or artists or anything like that, because it's all about networking, this music business and music in general. It's like, it's sad to say, but it is who you know, and what better way to find them when they're just starting out as students.
Now, I know that software can be pretty expensive. I mean, when you first started off, like what kind of softwares are you familiar with for editing?
When I started out, I think we were using like Sony Acid 7 or something like that, and we would use Mixcraft and just very like anything free, really. I think Sony, we bought a Guitar Center for like $80. But sometimes the cheaper programs are not as efficient as using something like Logic on Apple or GarageBand. Or now all I use is Pro Tools. I know how to use everything pretty efficiently, but I do teach Pro Tools here, and I do tutor and how to use and mic techniques and all that good stuff.
Now, for audio classes like the ones that you're in and stuff, I mean, can someone just right away join those type of classes, or do you have to have like beginning type music, like knowing how to read notes and stuff?
Well, to start out in the program, to start taking more like synthesizer classes and recording, you have to take a 110 class, which is Music 110, Music Technology Fundamentals. And it kind of gives you like a better understanding of what, all the stuff is at, where does it come from, what mics do this, what are condenser mics or what are interfaces, just to get familiar with the lingo. After you pass that class, we have it set up where you take a couple classes at the same time. Like you'll take the synthesizer part 1, you would take theory, and you would take music business together and start building up, because you don't need to exactly know to read to be a really good audio engineer or producer or anything like that. But the industry, like, it demands it now. Like, you need to have some kind of, music knowledge. And to be able to really create really good music, you need to know what music should sound like and what structure it should be. Even though, like, you can always break it once you know it. But you need that basic understanding of what is music and where does it come from.
I always ask my guests this question. What's your goal for the semester, and what's your goal after Cerritos College?
Well, it's my last semester here. That's why I wanted to create this club. I wanted to leave something behind for everything that the school's done for me and the program, well, especially Dr. Andrew Maas, which has been really a really great guy, and the whole music department. They've really supported me and the other audio guys to really come do what we love to do, and I wanted to give something back, and I decided to start out this club. Right now, I think we have like 40 members in the club, which I think it's amazing. For me, after this, I'm transferring either to Cal State LA or Dominguez Hills. I've been accepted to a couple other schools, but Dominguez Hills has the best program for audio, and I only have a year left, and I could finish with my bachelor's. So.
And after your education, what type of career are you specifically looking for?
Well, I'm trying to get into editing live audio for like video games or animation, and on the side I have a recording studio set up already at a location which I record local bands around my area. So I have that on the side. And I would also love to come back and teach here. And they've talked to me about that, coming back and after I get my master's and start teaching the same thing that they taught me.
Not bad, not bad. So this club, it's never existed before?
No, it's the first time that we set something like that up.
What's the difference between this club and I think there was like a one that was just called Music Club?
The music club. Well, the music club was more on, they were trying to do activities here and there. They weren't really active. I think they had a couple members and they were going through a couple things, issues with leadership and stuff. I've talked to them about joining my club so we can make a difference, like, and make the music department, you know, where it's at, you know, so everybody hangs out in front of the music department anyways. Let's get them inside and play some instruments and make music. But yeah, the commercial music club, it's more about not just knowing how to play your instrument per se, but knowing how to appreciate music in different ways and be involved in different ways.
Are there any artists that influence you the most, aside from Tyler, the Creator?
At the moment, I don't really have like specific idols, which is like really influenced me like greatly. Like I love the Beatles, don't get me wrong, and besides them having amazing music, like I love the techniques that they've created about recording and the way they came up at music. Like I love obscure music too, obscure indie rock stuff, and you know, to me like hearing it and knowing what exactly they did and what they went through is what's really interesting to me, besides the music.
That's cool. I know that, you know, a little while ago we met right before the show and you mentioned about bands getting together and then like a fair. Tell us about that.
Yeah, actually we had this last year, was our first year, which was the commercial music fair, which was in summer, where it's basically a big festival where a lot of the business partners that endorse our music department come on and they do free demos. We have free meetings with like industry standard people. We have we have free giveaways. We have contests, and we have actually a concert on the end of the day. I believe last time we did 2 days. I think we might just do it again 2 days or 1 day. I'm not 100% sure. But we had a couple bands play, a couple student bands. And this year what we're trying to do to, I guess, show off our club and our department is to have more involvement with students on campus and off campus who are wanting to come to the school. And we're having a battle of the bands between college students, and we're going to have high school bands. So for college students, you need to attend Cerritos College, and you need to have at least 2 members attending the campus to be officially enrolled. And I believe we have to have 6 bands. You have to send in your demos to us, to the Commercial Music Club. And for the high schools, we're going to go out and do some outreaching, and same thing, just 6 bands, and whichever's the best bands, they'll get picked to come here on a Wednesday night, I believe, and they're going to come play here in the auditorium. And from there, we're going to decide who the winners are, and both winners will play on our festival, which is they'll get free professional video, play on a real big concert stage, and they'll have free recording sessions.
Now, the high school bands, will that just be high schools from here in Norwalk? Or?
It's open to any high school, really. If they're willing to come over here and, you know, show us what they got, we're all for it. I mean, at first, everything's going to be done online, so you just got to submit your music. And, you know, the best 6 bands, I'm going to just pick them out, make them come over here and play live for everybody here, and we'll have everybody decide which are the best bands here. And same goes for the college students, too. So we can have as many guys and, you know, apply for it, but only 6 or 5 are going to make it from college bands.
So where would they submit their work online? Like,
they could send it to the Commercial Music Club email, which is commercial.m.club@outlook.com. And you can send all your information there and just give us your band name, how old you are. You know, if you're attending Cerritos College, you have 2 members, you know, enrolled. If you're in high school, you have to have everybody in high school. We can't have someone older than 18 be in your band, so it needs to be all high school students.
Are there any exceptions, like they just barely graduated that year, let's say they are a senior, but they're over 18?
It depends how good, if the band's really good. If I feel like they got something to show, then yeah. But if not, I mean, I'm open to all submissions, but, you know, going on the situation, then I'll decide, because I have the ultimate say of who's going to get the opportunity to showcase their talents here.
Let's say that you picked like 5 out of the 6.
Yeah.
And like 2 or 3 bands are like really great. How are you gonna determine?
Well, we'll probably have at first, it's gonna be a 3-part judging thing. It's gonna be the people you bring. So you need to have someone to play with. So even if you don't have like a great following, it won't hurt you, you know. But it is one part of the judgment in total. Like if you have people that like your music, you know. So we're basically gonna go off the audience for the first part. The second part, we're gonna judge on how together your band is. If you guys are professionally here, if you guys are prepared, and whatnot. And the third, of course, would be your music content and how, you know, how well did you prepare, and how, you know, how good is your music.
Now, the criteria for the, let's say the bands that are gonna play, all their stuff has to be like clean or what?
No, you can, you know, any genre is fine. I mean, we are on a campus, so I mean, if you can, I guess, not be so abrupt with lyrics, it's okay with me. I mean, I don't mind. I know it's creativeness, and I don't like to block creativeness ever, but you do gotta respect that we are gonna have all ages coming to this event. And I mean, if you can bleep out or just say a different word, that'd be fine with me. But music styles, I'm open to anything. Like if you're a metal band, you're an indie rock band, if you're a rock and roll band, if you're a punk band, country.
Because I know that for here, like we're not allowed to air like any profanity or anything.
Exactly.
Like
so I mean, the same thing. You know, I mean, we're on a campus, so I mean, we're all adults or trying to become adults. So I mean, I think it's best to know our limit. And I know like some people don't believe in that, like, oh, it's freedom of speech and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, we want to make people happy, and we can't, even though it is for creative reasons, you know, we just can't do that, you know.
So remind our audience the time frame here. Like, how long for submissions? When are the fairs gonna be here?
Right now, submissions are gonna open maybe in 2 weeks. So after these 2 weeks, you can send in your stuff. I believe we're gonna have the date for the actual Battle of the Bands maybe around mid-March, stuff like that, or maybe a little bit later by early April. But we're not sure on a for sure date yet, because we want to see how many bands will are going to submit, and, you know, you never know the numbers. So after you know the numbers, we can really secure.
So this event still isn't an approved event yet with the activities?
It's approved already, yeah. It's just, it's up to us, really, because we're working with the theater department at the same time with the live sound guys.
Mm.
And since they need experience doing the live sound for bands and stuff like that, we're setting up a date which works best for both of us, even though everything's approved already. The commercial fair is approved, and, you know, whatever event we do here, it's approved also.
Is there an official flyer yet for the commercial fair?
No, that actually, we start releasing stuff around early April, like official stuff after we know who exactly is coming and what guests are coming in and stuff like that.
When are you guys gonna have? Oh yeah, you're still in the works, right, with the official club meeting stuff?
Yeah, right now we did our first meeting today at 12 o'clock. We're actually meeting 2 other times this week at the recording studio in the music department, which is room 61A, I believe, or 68. It's upstairs. You can't miss it. It's really in the cut. We're meeting tomorrow around Wednesday around 12 o'clock, and we're meeting on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. And we're basically going to have some icebreakers. We're going to get to know everybody who's interested in becoming more involved in the club, more involved in, what we have to offer, and just networking in general. We're also going to try to establish meeting times. I'm trying to have at least 2 days out of the month. So I'm going to have whatever day works best for everybody, the best both days, and we'll have it like that, kind of like spread out during the month.
So how many classes did you have to take right now for your major?
It actually wasn't too bad. I believe I got here to Cerritos College maybe like about 1.5 years ago, and I did all my major classes and my GEs in I believe 2 years exact. So I believe it's maybe around 10 classes, which for the major it involves right now, you have to take elementary piano, you have to take part 1 and 2, you have to take music appreciation, music theory 1 and 2. You take synthesizers, part 1, then you take music production. You do the recording class, which is 146, and the music business class. And we have other classes that we offer. This is our first semester offering video game audio and film, which is more the advanced guys in the program who've taken most of all the other classes. And what we're doing is we're creating sound for a video game by the end of the semester. So we're doing all the live sounds, all the weird noises, all the stuff that you hear in a video game, all the voices. We're working with the theater department to do voiceovers and stuff like that. We're going out into the field with our boom mics and stuff like that and recording, the construction going on. And yeah, that's one of our new classes. It's not in the major yet, but it is offered. And for those who do know a little bit more about the audio side, we offer certifications too for Pro Tools, which is an industry standard. And we might offer a Logic, Apple Logic certification by fall 2016, I believe.
Pretty cool. We'll be right back after these public service announcements.
People don't much listen to the radio on the radio anymore. They listen on their desktops, they listen on their laptops, they listen on their tablets, and mostly they listen on their cell phones. You can hear WPMD on great streaming sites like TuneIn and Streema and Radio Shaker, and now you can listen to the place where people make a difference on our new WPMD app. It's free and ready for you to download. Just go to appcatch.com, that's appcatch.com, search for WPMD, then hit launch, and you're with us. It'll work on your iPhone, your Android, your BlackBerry, your iPad. You can take WPMD with you wherever you go, whenever you go. The WPMD app. One more reason why WPMD on the net is the place where people make a difference.
There's never a bad time to give blood, but next week is an excellent time to do it. The Red Cross is on campus, inside the Student Center, from Monday through Thursday, from 8:30 in the morning to 8 at night, looking for donors like you. If you participate, you will get a discounted ticket offer for a Anaheim Ducks game at the Honda Center and one at the LA Kings game at the Staples Center. We're just past the holidays, but you can still give the gift of life next week here on campus from 8:30 to 8 p.m. Do you have what it takes to be the best? Prove it by doing your part for the Red Cross Blood Drive. A message from WPMD, where people make a difference.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
Ah! They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield, and then somehow my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Falcon Spotlight. I'm your host, Rob JF, here at Cerritos College, WPMD Radio Studio. Now, I know that you mentioned video games. You know, I know, Angelissa, you're into that, right? Video games. You heard about that? Sounds for... Now, I know that audio is everywhere. I mean, there's even in the film industry, you know, I believe they call them Foley Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are potentially going to make a class that's kind of similar to that?
Well, actually, we're doing a lot of Foley stuff, too, during this class. We have different guys doing the Foley. We have the voiceover crew. We have, you know, a special effects crew. We have the guys writing the actual music for it. So, I mean, you get to do everything in this class. It's basically a graduation class of everything that you know. You apply it. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
How many projects do you have to do for the course?
Well, the course, I think, involves like around 4 projects, but the master project is the video game itself. I think right now we have a project that's due next week, next week, and it's basically creating a temporary score for a film part for a movie, where it's like a chase scene with like suspense. So you have to write. You don't have to write the music, but you have to look for songs and like stuff that would actually flow really nice with the part of the movie.
Cool. Now, well, time goes by pretty quickly. I mean, for it being your last semester, I mean, wow, you must have really flown by through all your classes. I mean, I know the journey to get to the end of the classes, everybody's kind of like at a pause as soon as they get to the mathematics. I mean, how did you get through that struggle, man?
You know what? I'm still at it. That's my last class that I'm taking.
Well, which type of math?
I'm taking stats.
Oh, man, I hear that everybody says that one's...
It's, you know what? For me, math, it's one of the hardest ones to do. But I'm trying to get out of here, you know. I did everything in under, 2 years. I took 23 units every semester I was here. And, sometimes I wouldn't sleep, but I'm just trying to get it done, you know. I'm trying to move on, go to the next step. And that's why I finished a lot of my classes that I need to take at a transfer school. And that's why I only needed a year, which I have it pretty planned out. And then I start my master's right away, too.
Not bad, not bad. What did you do to... get through the math? Did you go through the math club? Did you go through the tutors?
You know what? Just you got to put your own time. You got to set aside for it, because if it's something you don't understand, I'm fortunate. I have a friend that he's a math teacher, which I went to high school with, and he helps me out here and there, and I'm fortunate to have him like that. But really, it's just your dedication to it, because if you have the will and the drive that you need to get out, that you need to move on with your life, and that this math class is not going to be the end of you, then you can accomplish everything.
I mean, wow, you really went through quite a bit to get through everything. Balancing 23 units, I mean, I believe the limit is like 18, and then you got to go to a counselor to like get permission to take more than 18.
Yeah, they don't even do it. I guess I got lucky, and I had a really good GPA. I had like a 3.8.
Oh, so definitely you want to, have you been applying for scholarships?
Not at the moment. I haven't really applied for anything yet. I did have my counselor talk to me about me being overqualified for Cal State's and just to apply to UC, but the best program for what I'm trying to do is at a Cal State, which, I mean, unfortunately, it is Dominguez Hills. But even though it has a bad rap, the program is phenomenal there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I believe the college actually has like a
we have like a
bridge
fellowship
program.
together.
Yeah,
We have a fellowship
so you're
program.
basically guaranteed, to get into Dominguez.
Yeah, they actually sent me a letter like the next week after I applied, saying I got in. Which is very, very peculiar feeling. But yeah, I mean, I've been to the school, I've been to the program. Their facilities are amazing, and even though it does get a bad rap here and there, I think you got to give it a shot. Just don't judge a book by its cover. Always give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time we look at math, we'll be like, "Oh man, we're out of here." But eventually, we got to get through it. So you're just taking one class or two classes, or?
I'm doing math, and I'm finishing up music theory, which is I'm taking the last part of it, which is part 4. I'm taking that video game class and a marine biology class.
Wow. Now, the semester's going to go by like this, you'll see, but I highly encourage you definitely to apply for the scholarships because, I mean, you have quite an impressive GPA, and since you're balancing so much, when you go to cerritos.edu/foundations, you have the application for it. We're winding down to our last 2 minutes of the show, but I highly want to promote that. Every student should take advantage of that. And in addition to that, go every week in front of the student activities. There's like a glass bulletin, and they update it frequently. And there's deadlines, there's dates, there's different things coming up. And one of them will be the awards application. Have you ever been to the awards banquet?
No, I haven't.
So every fall and spring they have one, and definitely, especially since now you're a club president, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely, I expect that, I'll see you there at the awards event. Basically, there's going to be an application probably next month or the month afterwards already. And keep track of everything you're doing, every meeting you attend, every fundraiser you're at. If you showed up when they had the in and out and stuff like that, write everything down. Keep track of everything you've done or plan to attend. Even after the deadline, if there's like fundraisers you already know that are coming up, put them all on that list, submit it. And an awards committee that consists of students from each branch of government that were elected by each of their individual respective branches. They'll work together, and then I believe the president and vice president of student government and a student at large, they consist of the committee. They're the committee, and they'll decide, who wins what. And, I mean, it's just very impressive. There's a chance that you can win a scholarship. You fill out the ICC scholarship and the Bob Epple scholarship one. Then there's, in addition to the foundation scholarships. And not only that, I mean, the more you've done in the semester, there's a chance that you either win the certificate of leadership or you win a bronze, silver, or gold falcon. And falcons are very impressive because a falcon is a plaque, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely for it being the last semester, I highly encourage it. But, we've reached the conclusion of the Falcon Spotlight, but I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. And just keep me, updated with any events that you have coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, tune in every Tuesday at 2 p.m. To the Falcon Spotlight, and look up Cerritos College Falcon Spotlight on Facebook.